Hey guys, it's Emma
and Maggie,
and welcome back to another episode of Love You Bye.
Today is part 2 of our interview episodes, and last week I interviewed Emma, and this week Emma is going to interview me with all the questions that you guys sent in, and I'm very excited.
But first, we're going to start off with our peak and pit of the week. This is our weekly tradition where we share the highest and lowest moments that happen to us each week.
Why don't you start off, because you had an exciting week.
I'd have to say my peak was probably the fact that I went to Oregon last weekend, and it was so fun. I've never been before. My boyfriend's from there, so I got to see his hometown and like the house he grew up in, where he went to high school, and had a whole tour. It was really, really, really fun. And it's actually so pretty there. I'm excited to go back in the summertime because it was a little rainy while I was there, but it was nice because instead of it just being gray and cold like it is here, it's gray, but it rains. So it's like kind of cozy, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know, I had a lot of fun. It's a really cute state. And there's a lot of nature, and the air is just so fresh there when you walk outside. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. And then I don't have a pit for this week. I feel like I don't have any complaints other than the fact that Maggie's boyfriend's dog won't stop sniffing me right now.
He wants to sit as close as he possibly can to Emma, and he's a literal 90-pound husky.
I have one dog on one side and one on the other, and he's so silly today. Maggie, what about you?
My peak this week, I think, is that I've just been really getting my shit together. Like, I got so much done this morning, like things that I knew I needed to get done and have been on my to-do list for a really long time. So I renewed my license this morning.
Oh, finally.
I emailed the lady for my car insurance because I was supposed to put like the new sticker for my car being registered on my car, and then I ended up losing the sticker. And so like I get tickets for my car not being registered, but it is. But the only thing is that I literally just like lost the sticker. So I was talking to a parking person, and they were like, oh my God, you just have to like get a new sticker. That's the only reason why you're getting tickets. I like sent in a bunch of stuff for my taxes and stuff, and just like really got organized. I'm in the process of hiring an assistant right now.
I chose mine.
You did? I'm still deciding. So I haven't chose mine yet, but probably within the next few days I'll have a decision. And then, yeah, I just feel like things are good over here. I also have just been getting really organized with like work, and I have a lot of exciting things coming up. So yeah, I don't think that I have a pit. Okay, you guys, let's get on into the episode.
I'm going to start off by reading all the questions that people sent in for you. So, first question, what is your number one beauty hack / product?
Ooh, my number one beauty hack / product, I think, would have to be these little ice cups that I got on Amazon a few years ago, and I really love them. They're like $7. If you just type in ice cups on Amazon, you will probably be able to find them. And what you do is you fill them up with water and put them in your freezer. And then in the morning and night, you can take them out, and it's like a solid block of ice that you rub all over your face. I do it for 2 minutes, so I set like a 2-minute timer on my phone. Rub it all over my face, and it really helps with like inflammation, and it's just really good for your skin. So that's probably my favorite beauty hack. But my favorite beauty product, okay, I really have been loving the ZO skin exfoliator. It's a really, really nice exfoliator for your skin. And I also love the Osea body oil.
Body oil, that stuff's the best. I ran out of mine.
It's so good. I put it on in the shower. Like after I'm done showering, when my body is still wet, I like lather my whole entire body, and my skin has like never been softer.
That's what I've been using lately is body oil.
Me too. And I'm obsessed with it.
Next question, F, marry, kill, skincare, vitamins, working out.
Ooh. F, marry, kill, skincare, vitamins, and working out. I would probably marry working out because it's so good for my mental health and just makes me feel so much better, like all around. I probably would skincare and then kill vitamins. Don't get me wrong, like I love taking my probiotic and I love vitamins, but I just think that there's also other ways to get your vitamins in.
For sure. I agree.
By food and stuff like that. So that's the only reason why I think I would kill them.
Next question. What are non-negotiables in your morning routine?
Ooh.
Like maybe like 3 to 5 things that you like can't go without.
Double cleansing my skin. I use like a...
Like showering right away and washing your face right away?
Yeah,
Or...
so I wash my face in the shower because I have a filter shower head, so I don't wash my face in the sink ever. And I like to do like my milky cleanser first, and then I have another cleanser I use after. So I do that. That's a non-negotiable for me. Drinking water, but I feel like that one's like self-explanatory.
Well, everyone drinks water in the morning.
I take my 1 liter Simple Modern black tumbler with the straw. It's my favorite thing to drink out of. And I put filtered water in it, and then I take a pinch of Celtic salt and I add lemon, and it's so hydrating. So I do that. And then I really love getting sunlight in the morning, so like 10 to 15 minutes of direct sunlight. And I get this like usually when I walk the dogs. My boyfriend and I take turns like walking the dogs, so sometimes like he'll walk them in the morning or I'll walk them in the morning, stuff like that. But I typically like to be the one to bring them out in the morning because of the benefits of sun on your skin. Because like I don't want to bring them out at nighttime, so he usually does nighttime and I just get it done in the morning.
I'm assuming another one of your non-negotiables is coffee. So say it's a morning where Mac brings the dogs out. A really good idea is opening up that back door on your porch.
Yeah.
And just like pulling one of the chairs over from your dining table and like drinking your coffee in that chair. When Peyton and I stayed here, he did that. And he pulled a chair over and he had the door open with the sun shining on his face as he drank coffee.
Okay, I
just
need
had
to
country
start doing
music
that.
playing. It's really nice to do that.
I love that. And then another non-negotiable, I think in the morning it's very important to not just like reach for your phone first thing. I used to be way better at it than I am now, but I think like taking time to just like at least like take 5 deep breaths and ground yourself and be present instead of entering that like fight or flight of like picking up your phone and checking social media and answering texts and stuff like that. So I like to kind of just like regroup. I really do love the 5-minute journal in the morning, and I want to get back into meditation because even like 5 minutes or 10 minutes of a guided meditation helps so much with my patience.
Do you feel like you have like mental fog when you reach for your phone right away in the morning and that's how you start your day? I can tell today. I went on my phone this morning, which I never do because normally like I wake up with my boyfriend, I don't go on my phone and I won't go on my phone ever. But like today I literally sat on my phone for maybe like 30 minutes and all day I've just been like, oh, it's like information overload right when you open your eyes in the morning after you just slept for what, like 8 hours, you know?
And it's so much information that it's like fogs your mind. I completely agree.
Next question. What are 3 to 5 staple pieces that you always have in your wardrobe?
Ooh, 3 to 5 staple pieces I always have in my wardrobe. A good blazer. So I love the Frankie Shop blazers. Like they're the perfect oversized blazers. I love a good leather jacket, a good pair of jeans, a pair of white sneakers. I really like Adidas, like Sambas or the Reebok Club C sneakers. And then a comfy pair of pants, like sweatpants that are like still chic and make you look put together. So I really like these ones from Wardrobe NYC. I got them like 6 months ago and I literally wear them all the time. I have white ones and gray ones and I switch out with them. And then I would say just like a good top, like a plain white long sleeve top, which I really like the ones from Etern. That's 6, but I had to add that in there.
It's okay. Next question. What is your biggest piece of advice for young girls going into their 20s?
Ooh.
So if you were to look at yourself at 20 years old, what would you tell yourself? Or like 19 going into 20?
Okay, so that would be like my sophomore year of college. I feel like just looking back in my early 20s, I would tell myself probably to slow down and stop worrying about the future because I feel like when I was that age, I felt like I needed to have everything figured out. But now I'm 26 and I still feel like I have so much to figure out. And I feel like even if you ask people who are like in their 40s and 50s, like they still are trying to figure things out. And I think that it's just really important to be present and be in the moment and stop like worrying so much about the future and just like the what ifs and things that haven't happened, and just like really enjoy like where you are right now.
So off of enjoying where you are, even though that's when you're 20, do you see yourself getting engaged soon?
I don't think so. Like, I don't
enjoying where you are.
Yeah, I just like don't really have any plans. I mean, I'm not like thinking to myself like I need to get engaged by a certain age. Like, I don't really have a timeline for myself.
There's no rush, and everyone's different, and everyone has a different plan.
Yeah, and I feel like I do have some friends who are engaged already and or married, but I just feel like I am at just like a different point in my life, and that's okay. Like, I have a lot going on right now with my career and just like things that I'm working on, like projects and stuff that I have in the works that like I haven't even talked about yet, and just things that I want to focus on before that. Also, I just know that like when it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen like at the right time. I'm not really like in a rush or anything.
What is your best dating advice?
My best dating advice? What do you mean?
In general, best dating advice, like for a relationship. I mean, I feel like you've had so many relationships where like what's non-negotiable for like a relationship, whether it's like communication or loyalty or...
Okay, I'm really big on energy.
Yeah.
So like whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship, like I feel like I like to feel out like how we vibe like when we're together. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And like if the conversation flows, and obviously the person has to be like respectful and stuff like that. I don't know. I feel like I haven't had much like experience in the dating world because I've always been in like long relationships. But yeah, I just feel like when it comes to dating advice, I mean, I really don't even...
To not force anything, because like with you, when you're saying energy, you're looking for someone that it just simply works out. It's not like you guys have to like text each other and force those texts or like force anything. You always tell me the dating advice that you give me is what's meant for you won't pass you, which is an energy thing. Like if it's meant for you, it's not going to pass you.
Yeah, I'm just like the type of person where like I don't do games. I don't do the, oh my God, he didn't text me back.
Like you wait for
you know what I mean? Like I don't do any of that stuff. I don't like overanalyze it. I don't overthink. I don't calculate things. Like what's meant for you will be. And if I vibe with the person, then I am the type of person where it's happened like in all the relationships I've been in. Like I will pursue just that one person.
Yeah.
And like focus on just them and like put all my energy into them. I don't know. I just like don't do any like the bullshit in the games and stuff. Yeah. Because I feel like honestly, one thing that I have learned also is that like no matter what situation you're in, you have to listen to your heart and you have to follow your heart. You can't listen to what other people say. Like say if you're in a scenario where you want to reach out to like a friend or a sister or your mom for advice on something, I think that it's important to just take your own advice. So say if you wanted to like reach out to someone and text them instead of texting your friend being like, should I text him or should I do this? If you feel called to and you feel like you want to, that's what you should do. You need to listen to yourself. Follow your heart, follow your intuition, and just feel the vibes because nobody knows you better than you. So that's that. Just like get really in tune with yourself.
I know. I think about that all the time because one time when I was going to meet my boyfriend like for drinks and stuff, I had asked one of my friends because he was like, oh, like I'm bringing friends, like you can bring friends too. I ended up going alone, but at first I like asked one of my friends to come with me, but then she couldn't and no one else could come with. Everyone was busy that night.
Yeah, I had plans that night.
Literally every single person I knew under the sun was busy, and I'm like, of course, this one night. And this girl was like, don't go. Like, don't go. And for 2 seconds, I was like, wait, should I not go? But then I was like, no, I want to go. I'm going. And what if I listened, you know?
Yeah, if you had listened to that advice, you wouldn't have met Peyton and you wouldn't be where you are.
No.
So it's just so important that you always just like listen to what you want inside because the answers are always inside of you.
Next question. What is one thing that you learned about yourself in your new relationship?
Ooh, that's really good. One thing that I learned about myself in the relationship that I'm in now, this relationship has really taught me to be better at communicating, because my boyfriend Mac is like an open book, and he says what's on his mind all the time. Like, he's not afraid to speak his mind. And I, on the other hand, I feel like if something was bothering me or I was upset about something in the past, I usually would get just like really quiet and like not talk. And not like shut down, but I just would like get super quiet and like keep to myself. But now that I've been with him, he's really just like taught me how to be more open and more vulnerable and like communicate better.
Next question. What is the biggest thing that you learned from your first long-term relationship ending?
Okay.
Not the one from high school, because that's like way too long ago, but I'm saying like the most recent, like college till like, whenever.
So that relationship was like 5 years. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the biggest thing that I learned from it ending, honestly, was to just be very present and do things for myself, like unapologetically. And I feel like during that time after the relationship ended, I just like lived a really carefree life. Like, I kind of didn't like overthink things. And I feel like before, I had always been in such like a crazy routine and always had to have structure, and I really just like let go. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I just trusted that what was meant for me will be. And so I wasn't like looking for a new relationship or dating or anything like that. I kind of was just like having fun and hanging out with you a lot, Emma and Graydon, and we would always like go out, and I wasn't taking life so serious. Like, I remember before, I would have to like, I'd be like, oh my God, I need to like go to bed at a certain time and like meditate in the morning and do this and this and this, which all those things are fine and great, and they are very good for your mental health, and it's good to have a routine. But I feel like during the time that my relationship ended, I was like going out and doing things that I never would have done, and I feel like it really helped me like grow as a person. Like, you and I did so many things that I normally wouldn't have done. Like, we spontaneously did so much, and we kind of just like rode the wave. And I just really let go and like surrendered, and I guess was in like my feminine energy, and just trusted that what's meant for me will come into my life. And I just tried to like enjoy where I was at.
How do you balance social life, work, and having a boyfriend at the same time? Because those are all like really important things that you have to like navigate.
Well, for me, I find that balancing social life, boyfriend, and work,
because our work is literally our life, so it all kind of meshes.
Yeah, and I feel like we don't have to like go into an office every day. Obviously, like, we work from home and we make our own schedules and stuff like that. So balancing work with relationship and also my social life is, I feel like, not that hard for me to do. I love vlogging, like when we're out and about with friends, so that would be like my social life. But I do feel like I don't vlog my relationship at all. I don't know why. I've just like always been the type of person to keep my work life and my relationship very, very separate. I think that just because everything else in my life is so public that I post about on YouTube and stuff, that my one thing that is kept private is my relationship. And it's just something that I have always felt like is very like sacred to me,
and also like out of respect for the other, because I feel like a lot of like people you have dated have been in like on social media.
They're very boyfriend now private. And then like my last boyfriend are just very, I don't know, they're just like normal guys.
They barely have Instagram, you know?
Yeah, they don't post on Instagram. They're not like active on social media or anything. They're just like normal. So I've always like also noticed that if they get like uncomfortable with it, like, I'm not going to force it on them. 100%. And I want to respect like their privacy, because at the end of the day, I'm the one who signed up to have my life public. They didn't. So I like to keep it separate. And also, yeah, that's that. But
yeah, that's good. And also I feel like you hang out, like we all hang out together, so that's like another like social life aspect. Like we will all like go to dinner, like make dinners together and stuff, and all hang out together, you know?
Like our friend group and our boyfriends, like everyone's friends.
Friends, yeah.
We don't really have a difficult time with like choosing
friends
or boyfriend, because we just go together with our boyfriends and our friends, and we're all just kind of like one big group, which makes it really helpful, honestly. But I wish I had more advice on like how to manage all those things, because a lot of people do struggle with it.
I would say managing social life and like your boyfriend, making time for your friends and then making time for your boyfriend. If you and your boyfriend live together, then hang out with your friends like during the day and then spend like mornings and nights with your boyfriend, you know, like if you want to like plan out a day to hang out with your friends. But it's all about just like making time for both sides, but also don't forget to make time for yourself at the end of the day.
I agree.
Next question, how did you and your boyfriend meet?
My boyfriend and I met a year ago. Well, we met February 2022, and him and I actually like go way back. We went to college together. I went to Bridgewater State University, which is like a small state school outside of Boston, and I went there for 4 years. He went there my freshman year, so we had mutual friends, and was friends with a lot of people that I was friends with, but we never actually like met in college, and we always like knew of each other, followed each other on social media, stuff like that. And then years went by, and he ended up leaving the school after freshman year, transferred to a different school. So I like never obviously saw him again until fast forward to this past winter. Well, last year actually. And then fast forward to last winter, we had like messaged a few times, not like message and like actually talked, but like I had responded to his Instagram, he responded to mine. Like we always knew of each other. We have like the same friends. And I was out to dinner with Emma Graydon and our brother. And then he had messaged me on Snapchat saying like, what are you doing tonight? And I was like, I'm at dinner. And he asked me to meet up with him for a drink. So I did, and we went to this bar in Boston called Lincoln. It's like a popular bar that a lot of young people go to. And we met up, and all his friends were there, my friends, my brother's friends, like everyone was there. And we just ended up talking the whole night, and it felt like I knew him for my whole life. Like it was so weird. The first time I talked to him, I was like, why have I felt like I've known you forever? And he felt the same way too. And then
he dragged you off a stool.
Yeah, he was very, very drunk, and we were like in a really deep conversation. And there's a video of this on my TikTok. If you like scroll down, it got like 5 million views. It's from the first night that we met, and we were talking, sitting at the bar, and he like all of a sudden you see him like put his head on my shoulder, and he's like saying something to me really close, and then all of a sudden his arm just goes out to the side and he starts falling off the chair, and then you see me start bawling. And I'm literally, it's the funniest video because I'm wearing a long black leather trench coat, and you just see me like getting dragged off with him, and we're like both on the ground, and I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh my God. And then the next day, his friend's girlfriend, who's the manager of that restaurant, sent him the video footage and was like making fun of him and laughing about it. So now we have that video from the first night we met.
That is hilarious. So you and him live together. What advice do you have for living with your boyfriend? How do you separate relationship issues and like roommate stuff? Like,
honestly, for us, like everything was pretty seamless. Like we honestly had just,
I feel like you guys just live together.
Yeah,
since the start.
It's kind of the same as what you.
No, I know.
You and your boyfriend.
So it's like I would have trouble answering this too, because it's like it happened. Like you didn't have to like do anything where it's like, you know.
Yeah, I feel like it started off as like us just spending a lot of time together and just like being together every single day, and now we live together. And I don't know. I feel like it's nice, and like one of the things that we do is we have coffee together every single morning. That's like our non-negotiable in our relationship. Like we start off every day together. We have our coffee, we get food, cook breakfast, whatever. And then we go off and we do our separate things. He also works from home. So that can also be hard if you and your significant other both work from home, because I know a lot of jobs went remote during the pandemic, and both of us work from home. So we make it a point to like go do separate things during the day. Like I work, I vlog, do all the stuff I need to do, go to the gym and all of that. And he works, goes to the gym and does everything that he needs to do. And then we come back together at night and we have dinner together, and then we like to like relax and watch TV or like watch a show, or he watches like sports, and I'll like sit next to him and like go on my phone. And we just like spend time together at the end of the day. But when it comes to like chores and stuff, or making it so it's like relationship and not like roommate, I feel like he does his stuff and I do mine, and we both like split time doing things. Like he will walk the dogs at night and in the afternoon and stuff, and like I do it in the morning. So it's like if I don't do something, he'll do it, and if he doesn't do something, I'll do it. Like we kind of like pick up each other's slack, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, I feel like there's never really any weirdness. Like we just kind of like vibe. I don't know.
Are you planning on buying a house soon?
Ooh, I get so many questions about this, and I always see comments on my videos about moving and like how much I've moved, which I actually think that this would be a good time to talk about it. I don't know if it's like this in any other cities, but in Boston, where we're from, typically like you sign a lease and it's for a year. So it's like a year-long lease, and at the end of it, you have the option to renew your lease, or you can move out and find a new place to live. And every single time that I've got an apartment, like I've lived there for a year and then I've decided to move out and like find a new place after, just because I like to experience like new things. And also I feel like it's important for when I do buy a house one day to be able to know like what I like and what I don't like by trying out different places. So to answer the question, I am not really planning on buying a house anytime soon. I personally think that buying a house is like a huge commitment. There's nothing wrong in renting. I don't know why people get so weird about it online and like shame people for renting and bitch about it, because it's not that big of a deal. I feel like it's very common. I'm 26 years old. Like I don't want to own a house right now. That's so much responsibility. Also, I'm not ready to settle down and leave the city yet. And I feel like that's also a huge factor that goes into buying a place, because
you never know what's going to happen. Like if you want to move or like you want to stay or whatever, you know?
I know. And like, I'm not married right now. Maybe like when I get engaged, yes, I do want to leave the city and I want to get a house and I want to start settling down, but I'm not ready to settle down right now. And I'm so glad. Like I used to think that I wanted to leave the city when I was like 23, and I was like, I want to live in a house. I want to buy a house, move out of the city, blah, blah, blah. Cause I felt like that was just what I had heard so much growing up. Like, okay, you graduate college, you get a job, you buy a house, you start a family. It's like textbook stuff, but it's like, I don't want to do that. And there's no rush to do that. Like you have the rest of your life. So yeah, I just am chilling right now, obviously like saving my money for when it is time to buy a house and I can either buy or build exactly what I want.
Yeah.
Because I've known like what I want by like living at different places. And also it's just very expensive to buy in Boston. Like a 2-bedroom apartment is like over $1 million. Mm-hmm. Like it's really, really, really expensive here to get a place that doesn't need a ton of work done to it, or that's like really old, like something new and updated. It's really expensive. So that's why I like renting right now versus buying, because when I do buy, I know I want it to be like outside the city. So I'm just not ready to leave yet.
What are your love languages?
I did one of those online quizzes where you answer all those questions and it tells you all your love languages. And my first one is words of affirmation. My second one is physical touch. My third is quality time. My fourth is receiving gifts. And my fifth is, what is that one that we talked about that we both aren't really crazy about? Acts of service.
God. Acts of service.
Yeah, acts of service is my last, because sometimes I just feel like there are things that I can do on my own and I'm not like worried about it. But I really like words of affirmation and physical touch. Those are my favorite. Like I like being told like things that, I don't know, just like, you know,
yeah,
like reassurance, and when your boyfriend tells you like you look so beautiful, or like things that they love about you. Like I don't know.
For sure. I feel like everyone loves hearing things that, you know,
yeah,
that someone loves about them. super heartwarming and, you know, all the good stuff. Okay, so we're coming to the end of the questions. I saved the best question for last. What is your favorite thing about having me as a sister?
My favorite thing about having you as a sister, I think, is that our relationship is just so fun. Sometimes, like, I forget that you're my sister.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we have, like, a best friend relationship, and we have done, like, literally everything together, and I feel like you and I we like the same things. We have so much fun together, and my favorite thing just about having you as a sister is how, I don't know, I just feel like everything.
Aww.
Yeah, I just feel like having you as a sister is one of the greatest things to ever happen to me in my life. And honestly, like, I would not want any other sister other than you.
I know. I feel like I know some sisters that just, like, aren't friends.
Yeah, and don't get along.
It's also hard because you and I are 5 years apart, so that could be difficult, but...
Even though we are 5 years apart, it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, no. Okay, you guys. Well, that is the end of today's episode and the interview with Maggie. Maggie, thank you so much for answering all these questions that everyone had about you.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for sending them in. We should definitely do one of these again because I feel like it reminds me of the old days on YouTube where you would do like a sit down Q&A and just like answer the questions.
I love doing a good Q&A.
So let us know if you guys liked this episode. We could definitely do more of them like in the future.
Don't forget to follow Maggie and I on social media. Both of our social medias are just our names, Emma McDonald and Maggie McDonald. And don't forget to subscribe and listen to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. And we'll see you guys in next week's episode.
Love you.
Love ya. Bye.